I'm going to say that I think they can go head-to-head against some of the best teams out there. Would be Nuke and Mirage. Mirage, obviously, a little bit more of a puggier map. That's where you don't want to go against Fnatic, where they could play a little bit of a loosey-goosey style, where you have Brolan popping off like it did yesterday against Spirit. You have Smooya, who we all know can be dangerous with the AWP. So going to comfort map of Nuke, and this is the one map where I do love watching Snappy called on the T side especially. So here we go, off to a start. We're gonna have Diha, the utility guy for the team. He's got the P250, he's got the smoke and the flashbang, and for Fnatic, just a casual double dualies. Okay,
certainly very viable up close. Mezzi's going to be rocking with those on the A site. Meanwhile, Smooya taking some damage. Negligible, but he is forced away from his angle. It does open up a bit of avenue of aggression for ENCE to push downstairs, but that's into the arms of Brolan with the aforementioned Julies, but it's only one. However, information attained, and Alex now stuck at the backside is going to be able to get a crossfire in from the ramp as well. However, this is a ruse. They're deciding to go back up towards the A site, and with Snappy taking off the head of Mezzi, they can go back up the vents. This stack on B site is going to be completely useless now.
And there was even the lurk in the form of Spinks just waiting for Crims to walk up the ramp. And yeah, again, I just said that the calling from the mid-round calling from Snappy on this T side of Nuke is just fantastic. And this was them getting, heading onto the lower bomb side. It was a 4 versus 4. And Snappy just lurking around, getting the kill onto the squeaky player, and just like that, Smooya and Alex left in a 2 versus 4. This should be unwinnable. Alex getting peeked by 3 players simultaneously, and Smooya on 1 point of health. He's got not a chance in hell. Gonna be holding on to the USP and the flashbang and try and make it work into round number 2, which should be the force fight coming out from Fnatic. But for ENCE, a very convincing start, and they've even managed to salvage the 2 dualies, Vince.
Yeah, that's pretty painful, really. I'm kind of curious. I assume that you go for like Mac 10s anyway to try and bolster up the economy. But we saw, I think it was Crims over on the first map in the second round, just stuck with a P250. So some players may even want to just hold on to those Julies, but they decide to upgrade alongside it. Hades with a scout and full rifles. Interesting. Anticipating Fnatic would go for a force, which of course they have. So ENCE not messing about here. No SMGs. Any lost weapons will be costly.
This is, this is a bit of a surprise. You want that, at least one player to have that SMG to afford a little bit of mobility, but they're going to be going for a bit of a safe route. A gap of this in the smoke, and Smooya is going to strike. Doesn't quite get the kill, and almost Hades almost gets found out as well. There's a lot of damage being dealt early on by Fnatic here. Alex been tagged on 28 HP, but it's going to be falling back to safety. So Diha and Hades, the walking wounded for the time being, and as you pointed out, Vince, they got rifles, Galil, and a scout, sure. No SMGs. Meaning if anyone falls, that's a pretty expensive weapon drop down. And Alex, on an adventure, he's a bit ahead of Brolan. Should be a free kill for Diha, which he will find, but down to 9 HP, and Brolan will find him. Now a 4 versus 4, but considering how low Hades is, I don't know if he can survive here. They're slowly going to be creeping on up. This is a dangerous ploy, because Crims with the Deagle could wreck some heads, but he hasn't spotted anyone out. Dodo with a bullet, though. That's going to be a dead giveaway. Now they know where one player is. Crims gets found out. That was all the bait, and Smooya trapped all the way back behind Forklift, and they're hunting him down. Vince is all the way near CD spawn, and he will at least find one before he drops, leaving it all in the capable hands of Mezzi. It's a 1v3. But Hades down to 2 HP. This is doable.
It is if you can get the first pick, but unfortunately Spinks checks his angles, and yeah, that's going to be the end of that. Signed, delivered for ENCE. Now they did lose 2 rifles, which is going to be significant, but because of no follow-up buy on the side of Fnatic, this is the perfect opportunity to go in with 2 Mac 10s. I love this decision from ENCE. It allows them the fast run and gun style, also to print the cash, and Fnatic realistically won't have much else and a couple of HEs, which I'm going to look to try and stack maybe outside. Not sure they're going to be tossing these ones in, but this is ENCE surely taking a 3-0 lead.
Just the USPs, a couple of nades, though. Could deal a bit of damage, but it will be dodged. And yeah, now the Mac 10s come out, and obviously, it's just the USPs looking to farm a little bit of that SMG cash. The trust fund gun. Here's a problem for Fnatic, though. Like, they can play this map, but I feel like they definitely need a solid CD side, because ENCE's CD side on Nuke can be a complete lockdown. Like, they could be so hard to deal with. You have Hades with AWP just being just a nuisance all over the map. You have everyone really stepping up. And suddenly Fnatic, they could be left scrambling for answers. And especially based on what we saw on their defensive side on Overpass, this could be Ancient coming up as a map number 3. And bear in mind, as we saw in the stats as well, this particular lineup has never, ever, for Fnatic that is, have never played the map of Ancient. Now, it is a map that has that upset potential, a little bit of a delayed flick from Hades, and he is getting hunted down. There's no one nearby to help him out as I say that, though. Snappy has arrived, Magden in hand, and all Hades has to do is tuck inside behind the box and wait for his teammate to arrive and salvage him. And there we go. Save him, rather. And that is going to be salvation mission from Spinks. I kind of feel bad for Spinks. I mean, map 1 feels almost like a lifetime ago, but he dropped 30 kills in losing effort in regulation events. I mean, what more could he ask of the guy?
No, exactly. And I think that's why this paints a fairly grim picture for Fnatic, because I genuinely think if the likes of DreamHack or maybe like a Dota or especially Hades also showed up, I think ENCE win the first map. I think that we're actually in a position where this is 1-0 and ENCE have a very real possibility to 2-0 this series. So we're already starting seeing DreamHack, Spink, Snappy, like everyone's getting their chance to shine. And that's a very bad sign for Fnatic. However, Mezzi spraying through the smoke delivers 2 frags. Bomb spills down, retrievable by the hands of Hades, but just what they were looking for. That opening pick, it will be costly for ENCE. However, this is effectively their bonus round. They held on to both of that Mac 10s. If they lose this, as long as they do damage, that should be good enough. So Fnatic need to tread lightly.
Mezzi still playing with danger. Obviously, the M4A1, no tracers. Allows him to go for some of these wall bangs. He needs to still be careful. Again, this is the first buy round for Fnatic CD side. Trying to keep as many players alive is imperative, especially if you're down 0-3. Don't want to lose too many of these rifles. And already they've lost Smuya early on. So 4v3 for ENCE. It's all about trying to deal as much economic damage as they can. There's still a way they can bring this one back. They can find a couple of kills, but Brolan, nice little spray there, finds DHL, leaving it down to Snappy and Hades to somehow turn things around. 35 seconds on the clock. They are running out of options, though. They do have the bomb to work with. Snappy can retrieve a rifle if he wants to, but no, he's going to stick with the Mag-10, which is a curious decision. He doesn't probably want to make any noise by dropping the Mag-10 and switching to a rifle, and Mezzi is slowly getting hounded by Snappy. Going for the contact play. Mezzi unaware, but he finds Snappy, and now it's all in Hades to make something work. A nice little shot as Hades, unaware of Alex on the flank, and that is going to be the round going the way of Fnatic. However, they do lose 3 players. At least they're able to save the AWP. But now when you look at the buy, it's not going to be that great here for Fnatic fans. Sure, the Op's going to be in the hands of Smuya. They'll have that A1 to work with. But the rest of them, FAMASas perhaps, because they need to have the utility. And there you go. A couple of FAMASas coming out. Crim's going to be dropped the AK-47 from the previous round. A decent buy, all things considered. But ENCE are aware of this fact, and they're going to try and break the economy right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's dual-pronged. It's not just putting them down into 2 FAMASas. It's the fact that basically in the bank balance, if they lose this round, they're going to have nothing apart from Crims and maybe Smuya. So this is a golden ticket for ENCE to get 5-6+ rounds on their T side already. This is a pressure cooker round for Fnatic, and they need to get this, not just the round, but to lock it down. DreamHack, the superior firepower of the AK prevailing, and a good flashbang on top of that molly is going to singe Mezzi. Already dropped down to 63 HP. And simultaneously, they just lock down onto Mezzi, finish him off. They've got some A control. Alex needs to go nuclear. He needs to blast away the oncoming T's, but instead, he is just swatted away. And the worst possible case scenario for Fnatic has come to pass. A post plant in a few moments' time with 2 players left and no real economy to speak of. They simply have to save these weapons.
I love the delay take coming in. They use a Molotov. They even had a Molotov on top of HUD, which missed, right? But they got the first kill, and they harass Mezzi with the utility, but they don't push with it. They wait for him to peek around the corner and trying to find some information. He's like, wait, they didn't push with the utility. Maybe they're falling back towards the lobby, maybe heading for a ramp play. But no, they wait for him. They pluck his head. It's only 1 player waiting, Alex on top of the rafters. Good for 1, and it's all he finds. The smokes keeping Smuya and Crims at bay. And ENCE Just a very well played out round, just losing one man in the process as well. And yeah, this T-side from ENCE, it's been a problem for a lot of teams they've played against. I'm actually going to bring it up. They played against Mousesports, I remember, who are a pretty solid team overall on Nuke. I think they beat them 16-10 or 16-11. They were able to take down Big as well, another team who are pretty solid on this map. They also took down Godsend. You might say, oh, it's Godsend, it's Taco's new team. They weren't that great, but they're still a major team. And they also are a pretty solid team on Nuke, especially. If you have an eye for the tactical side of things on this very map, Godsend have really impressed me quite a bit with some of the youngsters they have on the team. So they've taken these three teams down very convincingly at the PGO Major. So yeah, like they are a force to be reckoned with, especially on this T side. So Fnatic, they need to be ready. The buy is going to be coming in anyway. A UMP for Alex. A couple of M4s able to be scrounged up by Fnatic, and Crims trying to take matters into his own hands. Like very aggressive play. He is all alone though. If he gets found out, the ramp is free for the taking. Flash comes up. Alex Crims able to avoid it, but they come charging it through the flames, and Crims is good for 2, and the bomb is dropped right at his feet.
Oh, this is so good from Fnatic, and Crims in particular. One of the reasons we pointed out that he's having a poor performance on Overpass is because he's capable of such madness. He's capable of such carnage, and finally we're seeing just what he had. Now, the issue for Fnatic there going into that round, it was effectively a rinse and repeat because of the save weapons affording the luxury of a buy, but it's basically a free swing. A free swing for ENCE. It didn't work out for them, but they're going to be coming straight back in with another buy. Good news for Fnatic, though, is because they held the line pretty convincingly, they've now started to build a bit of an economy behind them. Yeah, Mezzi and Alex are struggling, but the rest of the team can buy again. So they're starting to get a foothold into the map. But ENCE already off to such a good start with 4 rounds. However, they've lost Spinks instantly to the hands of Brolan.
Brolan in the past couple of rounds has been fantastic. A lot of opening kills. Even the 2K which Crims got, it all started off because of Brolan. And Brolan's playing on hard mode, Vince. He doesn't even have his crosshair out for his A1. They're going to be jumping across a missed shot by Smooya, but Brolan will find his second. And Alex joining the party as well. And bear in mind, this is the force buy coming in from ENCE. It's not an eco. They have a couple of rifles, which have been retrieved by Diha and Snappy as they look to turn this 2 versus 4 around. But they know that entering secret is not going to be an option. Look at the flank already on. They have lobby control with Fnatic. They have a flank coming in all the way from around as well by Smooya. But that means right now, for the time being, there's only one defender on that A bomb site. If they can find Mezzi, if they can somehow get the bomb down, it's a post plant that is doable. And Diha is sneaking his way, looking to make his way all the way up from heaven.
This is all just about damage control at this stage and tying up a potential eco. Mezzi has a good read of the situation. Spray lets him down. Diha could punish. And Snappy connects from main. Now things start to get a little bit scary for Fnatic. Smooya, slow peek round, but Snappy had the perfect crosshair placement. Molotov down. Brolan's going to go in for the wide swing, and Snappy comes out again. Crimson's last man standing. It's Snappy, the hero round. The IGL leading by example, puts down the ace.
That's a slap in their face. That's a slap in Fnatic's face. Snappy. All right, Tech Knight out, and he just reads it to perfection. He knows Smooya is going to be coming in from the Shadow of Death giveaway, but Brolan, he knew exactly what Snappy was, and yet Snappy comes out on top. The IGL leading by example, and I'm seeing shades of the Snappy from the Major, where he was the one leading the charge of Nuke 10-3 already. A 2 versus 4. They had no business winning, Vince. I did say if they could isolate Mezzi, get the bomb down, they have a chance, but Snappy just pretty much did everything by his lonesome. The captain, as Crims, has somehow walked past Spinks, and Spinks has found his way into the ramp. Okay, then. Crims could actually just mow everyone down, Vince. They have no idea where he is.
Oh, no. No one's checking this. Oh, no. Crims,
yeah.
It's going to be a bloodbath. Spray for 2. And the third. There's the bomb down. Patience of virtue for the Swede.
Alex should be found out. I should be found out. Alex probably wondering how did he even read there. And Spinks suddenly from a 2 versus 5 back to a 2v3, and they do win these rounds, Vince. Spinks paranoid. There might be someone else just floating around. He's gonna bide his time, wait for Diha to make his way up ramp, regroup, and then try and retrieve that C4. They have a smoke, couple of flashes, and nade to work with as well. Where Fnatic, though, 2 players towards the lobby, make them just 1 player, and they are unaware that the C4 has been retrieved, and they're okay with that. They want to play retake here. There's no one on the lower bomb side for the time being. So the bomb will be planted. But Vince, if they're able to win yet another 2 versus 5, Fnatic's, their spirits are going to be crushed.
Their spirits, their economy, morale, just, yeah, this is a must-win round for me for Fnatic so early on. I don't want to call it done or anything like it, but it's hard to feasibly come back from this many losses. 1-for-1 trade. Spinks, the hero from the last map. It's a great flash, perfectly placed flash. Crims can breathe a sigh of relief. A phenomenal play from the experienced, grizzled veteran. Will yield a 3rd round, but again, it's at great cost. They lose 3 players. They're going to be struggling to get a buy together. There's going to be a couple of players drop down. You see there, $3,000 to $4,000, but it's not much better for ENCE here. I'm curious if they pull the trigger, knowing that the economy is hanging by a thread and forced by if you're ENCE. But this is the play. So patient and absolutely deserves each and every one of these frags.
Crim's probably wondering why they're walking past him without even clearing the angle. Little did he know that he had actually walked past his opponent there. But yeah, a comedy of errors, but Fnatic able to come out on top. And you're right, Vince. ENCE have a good read on the economic situation of Fnatic, and they're going to go for the force buy of their own. They know if they're able to win this particular round, they can break the money and they can go on a bit more of a streak. So a must-win round for Fnatic, and Crim spots out the player, but he switches back to his nade in the worst time possible, and Snappy's going to get a kill. And now Smooya with the AK-47, not exactly his weapon of choice, has to do all the work. He's going to find one as Smooya spins around and finds the 2nd kill on D-Hut. That's huge. Brings it back to a 3 versus 3. Now, Brolan, 8 and 6, 100 ADR already for the young Swede. He's a lone defender for the time being. He has backup arriving in the form of Mezzi from Decon. Bomb will be planted, and they're unaware of his position. And Brolan, oh, he's going to do everything by his lonesome, it looked like it, but he's finally going to fall to Spinks. Back to a 2v2. A lot of time to work with, and Smooya drops down for the vent, leaving it all in the hands of Dodo in a 1v2, 12 HP, now to 1v1.
He needs the insta-headshot. He's on 12 HP. If Mezzi lands 1 bullet, this round is over. Doto trying to line it up, but there's Mezzi. The A1S prevails. But we're in a similar situation again, Blair. Both economies hanging by a thread. Neither team is fully consistently getting a stabilized funds flowing through them. And I wonder if we have yet another force. We've had so many of them so far.
I think they might just go for it again. No. Well, yes. Dodo and Spinks. There you go. There we go. They're going for it again. Do you have with the Galil? And they know they have Fnatic on the precipice, right? And especially when they're 5 and 4 up on the T side and Nuke on your map pick, then you know how good your CD side can be. These force buys are totally justified. If they were trailing massively, then I'd start raising some questions. I'm like, you need to just try and play a couple of full buy rounds, but they're getting so close to breaking the economy. You keep going. There's going to be 3 players making their way in towards Secret. A lot of damage being tanked through the smoke. And Alex, is he going to be brave? That's the question. He's going to hold the line. And Snappy, he's going to plug Brolan's head clean off his shoulders. They've taken a lot of damage, Vince, but they are a man up.
Oh, that's me, though. And Alex has the back attack in effect. Finally, it seems like some kind of sanity is going to fall back on the server as Fnatic have drawn us back to 5-5. But more importantly, I think they've won the Eco Wars. They've won the Force Buy Wars.
Now you're safe.
Yeah. And wouldn't you just know it? If ENCE now come out with Eagles and just win the round, I'm just done at that point. It's going to happen, isn't it?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They got a Deegs, a P to 50 in the mix as well. 5 nades. I am curious where they're going to go with this. ENCE do have a lot of cheeky nades up their sleeves. And all right, just going to be straight through the door. And unfortunately for them, it's just going to tickle Smooya. No one is playing up close. So a lot of nades getting tossed in there. Obviously a dead giveaway as to where the majority of the T's are. So they need to be just careful about. Not a huge fan of taking this battle through the smokes, especially with the Deagle. You can just get unlucky. You just one tap through it. Fnatic, for the time being, playing this one safe. They're not going for any adventurous moves. There's no need to take these duels. There's no need to try and force a matter here. They hear the Deagles. They know this is a round where they could use to try and stabilize their economy. It has been looking bit grim. Smooya spots out a player. If they can keep the majority of the players alive here, you know, they can have around, you know, the $4,000 mark on the majority of the players. That's decent. That's something to work with. So there's no immediate danger of getting fully reset and having to go for the eco. And that means, you know, they can make this first half competitive. So they are definitely the underdogs when it comes to this particular map. So if they can make it maybe 9-6, 10-5, if you're a very optimistic Fnatic fan, might indeed have a competitive game here and potentially even have Fnatic take it 2-0.
Oh yeah, especially considering it was 5-2 at one point. Snappy with a solid, brisk headshot onto Smooya is going to definitely clean his clock. Snappy on 13 frags right now, over 180 up. He's going to come to his wounds, which are delivered from Broland's M4. However, ENCE can finally get another buy strung together. Smooya's going to have to go in with a fair chunk of his economy. Should he go for the AWP? I believe he's going to just get this one dropped across from one of his teammates.
Money stabilized though, and that's the important thing for Fnatic, right? Okay. Yeah, still the rifles in play. Now what do ENCE do? This is the first full-fledged buy we've seen from the Finnish organization. Can't even call them the Finnish team anymore. And I don't wonder where they're going to go with this. It's just been brute force after brute force buys. Earlier, Broland once again opening things up. I do want to stat very quickly, Elliot, as to how many opening kills he's had thus far. He's been looking fantastic. Alex as well with the AUG able to find Dodo, but Hades will reply back. Still, man advantage firmly. Fnatic, and they have Diha sneaking his way to its secret, but there is a man lying in wait. It is going to be the Rat King himself, Smooya. Biding his time, standing behind the flame, spots out Diha, taking the battle. Not really ideal. There's no need for him to battle this one out, because if he gets taken down, they've lost a lower bomb site, and they're going to be down. I mean, they would have lost man advantage they have as well. But look at this from an ENCE. They're looking to make the way straight on up, and Mezzi has got to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Hades going to be making contact, slow peek around the corner, and he still comes out on top. Spink strikes as well, and that's the A bomb site cracked open.
Another round that Fnatic should really be bagging if they want to try and take this map down. Crim's two low players decides to peek in before Smooya's even close. That is a head scratch. Maybe thinking the timing would have favored him. Maybe some of that damage was confirmed and he knew two players were low, so the red mist descended. But it's put him all the way 6 foot under now. And Fnatic have to save. Smooya goes back to spawn. They can, of course, get a buy alongside this. But considering the HP bars events, considering the positions, that looked like a dialed-in round for Fnatic. And that's the kind of round, you know, if they want to be posting up 9 rounds, 10 rounds, they've got to win those. They've got to take control of the situation.
The only silver lining for Fnatic is the fact that they do have some money in the bag. So Smooya can drop the AK to Alex. He can maybe buy an AWP for himself. But yeah, I completely agree with you. You need to convert this round. It's a 4 versus 2. And just that slow peek coming in towards Mini, and somehow Mezzi not able to land his shots, which is kind of a bit shocking. And there you have it. The AK-47 will be dropped by Smooya, and Smooya time. James is one of just 4 players to die less often than Smooya this year.
Okay. After that overpass CT side, I see why. It's not even Smooya's fault for some of those.
It's not his fault, right? That's the thing. Like for James, we've seen so many games where he's taking the fight. It's like, well, I'm out of here, boys. It's all on you guys. And he's on the other side of the map. But Smooya, he was literally at the wrong side every single time, it felt like. Even the final 2 rounds they won when they had 4 players stacked towards B, Vince. It was Smooya on the A bomb side. So he must have been so frustrated. He has been quite impactful thus far here on the CD side, but still a very close game. And if ENCE are able to get to maybe 8 rounds, I think they're going to be super happy. I think they're going to be super happy already with 6 rounds confirmed. And if they're able to somehow steal this round away from Fnatic as well, they're going to break the economy. And they're going to run on to get a healthy and a very comfortable 8 rounds. So Fnatic, a lot of work to do. They can't keep relying on, you know, these individual plays coming out from Broland or Crim's getting a 3K from behind to net them these rounds, right? So there we go, Smooya. Take his name, and he's going to strike. Finds one. Alex as well, peeking his head through secret, able to get the kill onto Diha. Right now, what Fnatic need to do is just total up. There's no need to over-aggress. Smooya. Oh, I don't know how that even missed, but somehow Hades will survive. He's still battling out on top. What a brave lad. and Smuya across their train. He knows exactly where Hades has snuck off to, but Hades, he's going to double back. This could be big. Roland needs to go big here. He's going to find one. That's the bomb dropped at his feet. There is a flank coming in from Mini, though, but he's making a lot of noise, and they're going to be ready and waiting for him.
Exquisite round from Fnatic. Bait and switch. Body system in effect. Very efficient fragging. However, they can't take their eye off their prey because Hades can still spoil this round. Again, as has so often been the case, both teams far from rich. So all the Pole has to do here is get another kill or two, and I'll make things a little bit more sweaty going through into the last couple of rounds. But Hades is found and fragged by the Swede. Fnatic regain the lead. ENCE could buy up, but it's... Oh, I say that, you know, Blair. I think they're on the brink, whether they force or not. Because if they do go in for a buy, you're looking at maybe a couple Tech 9s, maybe a Galil here or there. They're going to go in for the purchase, and they've managed to string together. Okay, it means that Spinks is down to a Deagle. I got to say, though, Blair, if I'm looking at Spinks from that last game, I'm giving him an AK-47. I'm saying, listen, take the AK and go kill people.
Yeah, Snappy, don't be a Zeus and, you know, give a Deagle to your best player right now. It's like how simple used to have the Deagle and Zeus used to have the AK-47 back in the day. Let's not do that. But if someone dies, he's got an AK-47 to pick up, so it's all good. Smuya, I think he's been spotted out, so he is going to be falling on back. Smoke getting deployed. Try and maybe force ENCE to consider something. Alex trying again to be cheeky through secret. He will be punished by Diha, but a trade, well, a good trade coming in from Brawlan. Now Spinks can retrieve that AK-47. He's anyone nearby his teammates. Unfortunately, he's going to be holding towards ramp, and it's going to come down to Brawlan here. He's got one. Can he find more, Vince?
He's got the perfect crosshair, but the aim lets him down. How the hell has Hades survived that? The man is made of iron. That looked dead on to him. And now it puts Brawlan in a horrible spot, but he stands his ground and just slaps Snappy away with the A1S. Comes back in, there's another frag. Brawlan's doing it all alone. And now the other Swedish contingent comes to the forefront, doesn't let his brother fall on his sword, and helps him out. And it's looking good for Fnatic to get 8, barring a miracle play from Spinks. And by the way, you'd want him to have an AK-47 in this position, ENCE, not the Desert Eagle. He's probably going to go down. The bomb's in a horrible spot. He's being flanked, and Fnatic get there ahead of him. ENCE will have a horrific buy going into the last round as well.
I mean, it's totally understandable why they went for this buy anyways. I'm not going to be too harsh on them. But Brawlan, he completely whiffs the first one, and then he hits some fantastic shots after that. Just a good tale of redemption in one round. Speaking of rounds, final round of the first half, and as you said, Vince, the buy is looking quite grim indeed for ENCE. A couple of Deags, a Tech 9, Mac 10, and just the one solitary rifle, the Galil, in the hands of Diha. And for Fnatic, they have everything to work with. Smuya with the op train towards secret. Spots at Spinks. Spinks trying to bait out a shot, but Smuya, great trigger discipline to find a kill as they come charging out from the hut, but they are met with a hail of bullets. Never mind. Dodo with a Mac 10 made it look a little close, Vince, but in the end, it is going to be Fnatic. He's going to get round number 9, and we're going to be seeing if ENCE can bounce back in the second half.
Now things don't feel the same. we beat that. They don't tell us so though. They pretend they got gold. We should put them on blast. A man can't stand such an upset. Your windows closed. You never lose so bad. Hey, you should.
A 9-6 half that could have been so much better for ENCE. At one point, they leaded 5-2, or led, I should say. English is sometimes hard. They led 5-2. Now Fnatic
Even for you.
9-6. Yeah, I'm English, by the way, so I've got no excuse. I'm just trash.
Can I say Fnatic the way Brits say it?
Fnatic.
Well, let's see if Fnatic can make this one a 2-0. Well, Diha, nice opening kill though, finds Crims, and he spots a lot of them out in the open. I don't see any smokes for Fnatic, so they have to just go and try and pull up the drive-by, but it's going to be Hades rather, plucking heads. Brolan at least able to reply. Mezzi from behind, and somehow Dodo hasn't heard him. And now a 2v3.
A 2v3 that's very winnable, especially as they have Brolan, who's been in such fine form. And Mezzi, who of course was a powerhouse in the first map. However, Spinks from the top may have bit off more than he can chew. Goes back in. Did he just jump on him? Oh, that's filthy from Brolan. He's down to 8 HP, but he's keeping the dream alive, and he still retains possession of the bomb.
8 HP and the dream. Now, the Glock in hand though, Vince. No head armor, right? For the CTs. This is doable. He just gushed them, get that aim punch going. Oh, the timing. Diha clearing outside, but Brolan looks the wrong way. The worst time possible. That would have been very hard in any case. So, and they win the pistol. Now one more round closer to 2 rounds rather closer to tying things up with Fnatic. Of course, forced by. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised if Fnatic went for it, but with no bomb plan, that means the rifle buys would be rough unless someone's going to take the hit for the team. And there you have it. Brolan buying the scout, dropping it for Smooya. The rest of them, it's going to be deagles and armor. And Brolan just with the deagle and a flashbang.
Oh, we've seen these buys work many a time, especially in the hands of these Fnatic players. Actually, against Spirit, they lost 3 out of 4 rifles, or pistol rounds, I should say, and then came back in the second round. And that's why Crims with a deagle from downtown, dealing with Hades. Smooya taking a bunch of damage and decides to repeat twice, but there's Alex with the deagle, continuing the player advantage. And now ENCE may feel pressured to go in for a play, get smoked out, giving outside control across to Fnatic, and that's why D has made moves downstairs. If this angle goes unchecked, he could be in for a ton of action and a ton of frags. Just decides he doesn't want to play possum, doesn't want to wait for any more players to come through, wants to snatch that opportunity, and it may be at the cost of this round for ENCE.
Look at the flank coming in as well, all the way from Ram, but Spinks with a great shot on the Crims. Mezzi, however, trades, and now the 1v2 advantage for Fnatic. They're going to get the bomb down to Dodo, making his way from Secret. He's got that MP9. He could upgrade it to FAMAS if he wants to, but he doesn't want to give away any sound cues. No kit, no utility. He's had a very quiet game as well, very quiet map too. He's picked up a flash and a nade. Now, the moment he opens his door, that's going to be a dead giveaway. They know exactly where he's going to be. Opens it. You can see immediately Mezzi evacuated position. He knows nade could be tossed in, and now Dodo. Look at where the bomb plan is as well, Vince. He can't even go for a safe plan. He's looking for the second player. He can't even see him. And you look at the way Brolan's playing. He's not going to show himself. Round's done. He's got to go, run away, try hold on to his MP9. And indeed, he just might, unless Mezzi gets the kill. No, he won't. So Dodo takes the FAMAS. He will survive, but ENCE have lost around in Fnatic. Well, here you have it, Vince. You just brought it up against Spinks. Against Spirit yesterday. They lost 3 pistol rounds, but they always managed to bounce back with the force buys, and it's happened again. But this shot from Crims, holy hell.
Crims had an absolute blind round there. 2 massively impactful frags. And although Smooya got picked off outside as he tried to peek him with a scout, it was so important that Alex then instantly avenged his fallen teammate. Made sure it wasn't in vain. The impacts reverberate instantly for ENCE. Their bank balance runs dry as they go in for another buy, and we've been here before. The entire first half was this way, Blair. Just carnage.
Yeah, this is kind of reminds me of Fnatic back in 2015 again. You know, JW running in with a sword off. He had like Tech9 Meister just running around, popping heads. I'm getting flashbacks, Vince, and not the good flashbacks. Are there good flashbacks? I don't know. Anyway, Snappy is gonna snap Brolan. with a scout run, just coming around the corner, just crouch peeking, which is going to be an easy shot for a Snappy to find. And Fnatic immediately opt to head on back. Now, they've managed to somehow sneak Alex into its secret, where he could try to make his presence known, but Diha, very heads-up play, but the timing doesn't quite pan out for him, and Alex knows up close he can actually come out on top here, but Diha able to crouch below the bullets off the Mac-10, and that's going to be a two-man advantage here for ENCE on their force buy, mind you, as Hades will be tested, and what a test. I mean, what a test it was for him, but he still passes with flying colors. And he's looking for more. Smooya, however, finds a kill on a Snappy, and Hades is hitting some nutty shots here. Finally will fall to Mezzi, but he's left in a 1v3 position known, and he's kind of running out of time as well.
And Hades nearly just landed a 2-for-1 collat headshot with Eagle. That was absurd. Mezzi, though, in the meanwhile, as he said, his position is very much compromised. And he's not trying to play shy at this stage. However, Spinks from below deals the fatal blow, and ENCE with their force buy bounce straight back in. Fnatic in a position where 2 of the 5 will have to double eco, which is never ideal on the T side. Would not be surprised if we see yet another force here, and that's exactly what's coming into pass. We continue with the eco wars.
The great eco wars of 2021. We still don't know which team's going to be coming out on top here. Earlier, it was Fnatic who managed to end it, although it was a very short-lived victory. And now, ENCE, rifles in hand, Diha playing a dangerous game. Alex, bunch of walk-on past, and Diha, his position is known. Now, fortunately for him, he does have his teammate in the form of Hades there to trade if needs be or provide him some cover fire. So Diha realizes against the pistols, he really doesn't want to do much. Mezzi, I don't know how he's done this. Oh, go for it, do it. No, he's just gonna take his head off. He's not exactly a JW, is he, Mezzi?
Oh, Brolan 1 HP, but still standing his ground. Snappy, though, comes through alongside Hades. And although ramp control is forfeit, Hades has lost his life now. He didn't need to peek that. They had to play it down on ramp. They just need to stay alive at that stage. And you can see Dotto is not sure whether he should rotate, whether he should hold position outside. This is causing a mayhem of a round for ENCE. And in all of this confusion, Crims has snuck his way through ramp. Mezzi's going to get the drop on Snappy, and Fnatic take the player advantage.
This is just mental. I mean, somehow they lost sight of Mezzi. Dodo was so paranoid. He's like, where the hell is he? And Mezzi managing to he was just snuck inside of vents. This is a round Fnatic had no business winning. And if they manage to pull this one off, the money's going to be broken for ENCE. What did they do here? They do have a kit. Smoking a couple of flashes. Oh, the call's been made. Call's been made, Vince. They're going to be going for the save. And Fnatic, they've done it. Their own force buy, and they break ends. It's back and forth. The eco wars do continue. But if I'm ENCE, like, what do you do? I mean, they can try to work around the 2 saved rifles here. You know, go for maybe an auto shotty, play on top of HUD. You can have the scout in the hands of Snappy, just spotting outside. And maybe I think Dodo can drop another FAMAS to one of his teammates. A buy is definitely possible, but do they go for it?
I think they have to. Yeah, 1,400 for Diha. You have 2 rifles. You got a chance here to maybe bounce back. And Fnatic actually call the tactical timeout. And I feel like a couple of these rounds, just looking at Dotto.
I just want to see the round, how Mezzi just snuck his way down there. It just doesn't make sense. If you only count his headshots, Spink still top frag for ENCE in map 1. Wow. That's a statement.
Oh, that's really. It doesn't paint a very good picture.
Good picture.
Or a good light for the rest of ENCE players who are reading that stat like with a grimace on their face, like, oh no. Oh, tactical timeouts came and gone. No huge surprise that there will indeed be another force in for ENCE, but again, that money is hanging by such a thin thread. Meanwhile, Fnatic have started to build up a little bit of an economy on 3 of their players. Crimson Mezzi feeling worse for wear, but everyone else is fine. So this is a big risk. The reward is there for ENCE, but should they lose this round, Fnatic will take a real stranglehold over the Nuke, and they've gained first blood. Diha down to the hands of Smooya through on the squeaky side. Alex is taking damage, but still alive to tell a tale.
As usual, Alex is taking space by his lonesome to what's outside, and Snappy. This is his counterpart on the other side, the IGL, who's been leading by example thus far in Nuke. Oh no, Alex snuck his way through. Hades found out one by one that they are getting isolated and taken down. And Spinks, even though he gets the kill, Vince, he's been dinged down so very low, and Dodo has a lot of work to do. The bomb has been spotted out. Dodo, they're trying to hunt him down, but Dodo's somehow going to find Smooya. They picked up the bomb and managed to make their way towards the lower bomb side, but somehow ENCE have turned it around from a 3v5 to a man advantage. However, Spinks is very low, and Snappy tossing the Molotov might force them to go for a plant outside. And look at Snappy just pushing out, preventing the plant from taking place, buying time for his teammates to go in for the rotation.
It looks foolish, but I completely understand where he's going from. He knew they were in a transitional phase. One player trying to get that bomb was forced away from the Molotov. He fancied himself to pick up the frag, but in doing so, he's now put ENCE in a horrible spot. Dotto, 1-on-2. He's been in so many of these situations. This, though, is winnable. Has a kit, but no grenades. However, doors are smoked off. The bomb is so near detonation, though. A third of the fuse remaining. Flash through. Oh, Dotto can't get it done. He's kind of succumbed to his fate. He knows he's living on borrowed time. He's at least going to take a player or two with him. But that's going to be all she wrote. So many times, ENCE have been right in the pocket, right up against it, maybe able to clutch out, but they always come out second best. And the result, now they have to finally eco.
I'm just going to point out and just state that watching Brolan play this level after so very long, and okay, I get it, bring in all the caveats. It's online, they played the IEM Winter Qualifier, they played the DreamHack Open, like this opens close qualifiers as well, and then we saw him play yesterday against Spirit. It looked fantastic. We were all like, just the map, it's just against Spirit. But he's, even though he didn't drop a 30 bomb in the previous map, he was up there, Vince, and even here he's leading 21 kills. And the amount of impact frags and impact moments he's had has been incredible, which is allowing Fnatic to have this 4-round lead on Nuke, a map where ENCE are so very good on. And they're looking great as well. Some great calls. And again, I have to be critical at the same time. There have been so many holes on the CD side from ENCE. I don't know if it is Fnatic getting a little lucky, but they are definitely finding these holes, and that has been biting ENCE in the back multiple times. You saw a couple of rounds where we had Roland just dropping down fence, and no one had any idea, any inkling he could be down there. So 12-8 here for Fnatic, and unless something goes terribly awry, this should be round number 13 as well.
Oh yeah, comfortably so, and a real chance to build up their economy. They got the 2 Mac 10s in play. They've already printed some cash on Messi. Diha! Tried the knife, and suddenly Alex just spins around, shuts that one straight down. Live by the knife, die by it. Alex, though, can peek up towards Spinks, tags him down to 20. Yeah, this round is a done deal. It's now just about dotting the I's and making sure that they take as many frags with these Mac 10s as possible. Alex is going to fall prey to the USP of Spinks, but of course they don't want to hold on to that Mac 10. It's useless. Hades trying to opportunistically find a player or two to nullify with his deagle. Fnatic will be crossing the line to 13 first, and we're getting into that position now, Blair, where the finish line is in sight for Fnatic. ENCE have got to make this next round work. They simply have to win it.
The thing is, with Fnatic, we saw this on Overpass, Vince. It was 11-1. And I believe Elliot brought up the stat that whenever there's an 11-1 scoreline on the T side of Overpass, 95% of the times the team with the lead wins. Now, Fnatic did manage to do so, but it came down to the wire. It came down to 16-14, where they had to go for the full B stack to close it out. So, yeah, sure, they have the lead. But this is CD side of Nuke. And ENCE, they're a very capable team. But as you said, this is a round they need to win. If they let this one slip by, again, the money's not going to be that great. Again, they wouldn't be able to afford a full-fledged buy. They might just go for a half buy or an eco, allowing Fnatic to get a 15. At 15-8, it's much harder, mentally especially, compared to a 14-8. Messi has snuck his way out of Squeaky. I don't think Dodo's aware of this. Never mind. He's falling back.
I think they may have heard like a little tinge of the Molotov damage, and then Mezzi's pulled the plug and got out there. I'm really surprised that Spinks is stuck with a Mac 10. He had $2,000. He could have gone for a FAMAS, and he's kept the Mac 10, so he's playing up close. So I'm not sure if that's going to come back to bite them. Meanwhile, though, Alex has made moves outside. Hades dropping down to ramp. 2 players here to try and crossfire in, but ramp has been deemed forfeit once again. Surplus for requirements. So often when they've got this position, they've got the opening pick, and they've done it again. And who else but Brolan? They won't anticipate 2 players, but Snappy's position is untenable after the first frag comes down. A lot of damage has been inflicted across the Fnatic, but the player advantage stays in their favor.
Look at Alex. Look at Alex. He's going to be the knife in the back, Vince. He's going to be coming in from Vince. Hasn't made a single step yet, and Dodo is able to get a kill. They've been quickly traded, however, in Diha. The moment he opens this squeaky door, well, Alex doesn't even have to do anything. It's a 1 versus 3, and Spinks, he's able to upgrade to the AK-47, but they're not spacing. Oh, never mind. Mezzi faces an 18 HP, and he just cracks his skull with an M4A1. 3 kills for the UK lad. Fnatic, 14-8. Money? Not so great for ENCE. Now, they can still afford a few pistols. But if Fnatic can weather that particular storm, it's going to be map and match point, which is, I won't lie, Vince. I mean, coming to the series, I thought it was going to be a banger of a game, but I thought it was going to be a 3-mapper with ENCE just kind of getting the win, and ENCE have gone for the full buy, the full investment.
Oh yeah, they've put all of their marbles into this round. All the chips on the table. They've gone all in. Diha haven't really played this position so far with the MP9. Will he get checked? No. And it was Alex who he tried to shank earlier and he got punished. He doesn't make that same mistake twice. So Diha can now trade up from the MP9 to the AK-47. Flashbang is good, but there's a second component in Hades, hiding behind the boxes. Do they do their due diligence and check these angles? They do, but it's at the cost of Mezzi's life. And Snappy's able to pull the plug, escape down the ramp. He's going to get forced in, fakes as though he's gone to control room to hold his position. And now Diha opens up with the AK, but it's only 1 frag. 2 play 2. And even if Fnatic were to concede this, they've done so much economic damage. The ENCE are going to be reeling from this for the next couple of rounds regardless. But Fnatic, they have a look at the clock. They say, oh, hold on, we got a minute left. We don't have to fully commit behind this. We can try and divide and conquer towards A. But there is a player in hell. It's going to be Dotto. Has the perfect angle. And with both players low, this could be 2 frags going to his way. There's the first Brolan. 25 kills to his name. Isn't going to add a 26. The Finn stands tall. Delivers for ENCE.
Such an important round. Such an important round there, and finally Dodo delivers. He was a bottom fragging player in the server. And in 2K, he desperately needed to win. I like the way he just played around with Roland there on the corner as well. The FAMAS, a gun you don't usually want to be wielding against the AK-47s, but you did point out, Vince, the amount of economic damage they dealt towards ENCE. If Fnatic are able to win this particular round, they can just break the money, and then round number 16, it's just going to be, well, on paper, at least a walk in the park against, you know, some pistols, maybe some like rifle. Diha, not a big fan of that. He goes for a long-range duel against the AK-47 of Crimson. Crims has been just been a god of death in that silo position, right? Just been hitting all his shots. I like this aggressive posturing coming out from ENCE, but it looks like Mezzi is aware of this. There is a player up close to Dodo in the smoke, and Mezzi spots him out. I don't know if he saw like a boot or a barrel sticking out, but Dodo is going to be found out, and 2 kills already from Fnatic, for Fnatic without a single reply back from ENCE.
From bad to worse. Here comes the execution as well. Spinks tries to get aggressive, wrap around towards lobby, but it's to his detriment. To his downfall. They have to save, yeah, absolutely. Their economy's in tatters. They have to try and pull the plug, and I think Fnatic will have a good read of the situation. They're going to try and thwart this, cut this off before it gets back towards CT side. Alex knows. Plenty of time. The bomb's just been planted down. Smear's moving into position as well. Now, although Mezzi is low economy, everybody else can buy again. I think it's completely worthwhile to try and deny these last 2 M4s. If you take these weapons away, it's near enough a done deal for Nuke. It's not to say that ENCE can't win on some kind of a scrappy force buy, but it makes their chances so much worse. Flash is good. Trying to close the clap now as well. Off Fnatic before this bomb detonates. First frag goes down. Snappy now has to try and contend with all of them. It's not going to happen, and Fnatic have 6 match points.
It's a disaster for ENCE. They needed those 2 guns, and look at the buy coming in now. Oh boy, this is rough. This is rough. MP9s, Deagle, maybe a shotgun. There we go. Spinks with a Max 7. And Snappy with a Scout. This looks like Usually looks like the buy you go in after you lose the pistol round on the CD side. Instead, it is ENCE on the precipice, clinging on with the battered fingernails, hoping to try and take us to OT, but it is looking grim. It is looking unlikely, and Fnatic, they're wasting no time. They come charging up towards the upper bomb site. He at least able to reply back, and he finds a couple with the retrieved AK-47, brings it back to a 3v3, but for the time being, they have lost the site. I don't even know what Alex is doing. He's walking out through the smoke, and he's gonna find Diha Smuya from above, looking to strike down onto the CT, who's looking out towards Mini, but somehow they snuck on past.
I think they would have heard him drop down, but they're too preoccupied trying to deal with Brolan. Going to take a look on, try and draw Hades into the open, and he will be swung on. Smuya, last man standing, up against Hades, tries to nail him, and picks up the doubles, proving you can use the rifle just as well as the AWP. And that's going to be the 2-0 win.